Hello viewers, we're back. This is a really quick one, hopefully a really quick one. We've got a 2010 Alpha MiTo in the shop. It's my son's car. Electric window failure, driver's side. We've got broken cable. You can see this, we've got a nice bit of rust going on there. The cable snapped and we've got to replace it. I don't have the new one yet, so there is a video on YouTube of a guy doing this, and what he does is he drops the window and he then undoes the two bolts, which allows you to get the glass out and then pull the mechanism out. Now the trouble I've got is my window doesn't move at all, and the bolts to undo are up in behind the inner door skin, and he says you can put a spanner up there and undo them if that's the case. Well, that's not the case because they are Torx, I think. I can't really tell, they look like a Torx, and you can't get a Torx bit up in there to undo that. Drill a hole perhaps, but what I think I can do, which is what I want to show you, is cut the two cables, because you've got that, they come with the new one anyway. This one's bollocks. I think if we cut the two cables, I've cut one already. If I cut the second one, I believe the window will then drop, and I should be able to get on the two bolts to get the glass out, and then we can get the whole mechanism out. Obviously, if you've got motor failure and you only want to change the motor, this will bugger up the whole cable mechanism. It's possible, I'm not sure, because I've taken the motor off. Luckily, when you undo the screws for the motor, the motor's not fixed solid, she hangs on her cables. It's possible that you'd be able to undo the three bolts holding that on and potentially cut the cables. Oh no, you don't want to cut the cables. Yes, potentially you'd better take that off and somehow move it by hand. You can see why this one's fouled. Look, something's obviously got caught and the cables come through the side there and not where it should be. Yeah, you might be able to take this motor off and wind that capstan manually, but I don't need to because that's not the failure point this time. I'm going to cut this cable and then we'll see if this window is actually droppable. Right, cut the red wire. Right, snip. They return now, chaps. Right, what I'm hoping is the window now moves. Look at that. Cool. So that is excellent. That. So that's the screws. Yeah, like I say, you can see they are a Torx bit. Yeah, wouldn't be able to get a spanner up in there. You might, if you had a bit set which didn't have the quarter drive on it. So let's try and find out which one it is. It's probably that one, looking at him. Yeah, so they are a, yeah, my eyes are bad, T30 Torx. Yeah, if you had just the bit on its own, you might, with a 6mm little tiny ratchet thing which went round there, you might be able to get on that and undo it, but like I say, I wasn't able, well, there's no way, once that is up in there, you're going to get that and a wrench to get those out. For me, best bet, cut the cables, window drops, now I can get them off, get the mechanism out, and just swap the motor out onto the new mechanism. It's about £100 for the new mechanism for these. When I opened the door, there was a spring of a thing laying in the bottom here. I think that's all part of this mechanism which had failed. Yeah, and the other job I've got to do is, you know, like this one, when I took the door off, inner door card off, someone has made a modification to the cable. This leaded end, where my thumb is, that should have a 90 degrees. That's obviously broken, and someone has used one of these electrical connectors and stuck an Allen key in there. And then that was poked through the door handle on the inside. I've ordered a new cable, so that will come, and I will show you when that arrives how to get the other end out. I'll show you, I don't even know myself yet, but I'm sure we'll work it out. This is not rocket surgery. So anyway, that's how you get your window down. You can cut the cables. Like I say, I'm pretty sure if you took that motor off, those 3 screws, you would be able to wind the capstan manually to get that window down. Or perhaps with the motor not connected, you'd be able to push it down and the capstan would wind itself. And anyway, I'm hoping this sort of helps you out. It's those 3 screws on the motor. They look to be the same as the T30s holding these. So that's it for this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, well, I tried. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care. Wait a minute, I've just taken the motor off. If you were doing just a motor swap, you wouldn't need to drop the window. This panel here, which held the, let's see, the capstan and the wires or cables all fucked. The motor was bolted to that, but this isn't, as I said earlier, isn't secured as part of the door. You can literally undo the 3 nuts holding this in the car, and you would get that far enough up, but you could do a motor swap without even taking the window out. So yeah, hopefully that helps you out. Yeah, if you're just doing a motor swap, you can literally get in there, move this up, take the 3 nuts off, move this up into the whole aperture, swap the motor out, put it back and do it. If you're changing the cables, like I am having to, the whole mechanism, then yes, just cut the cables with a decent pair of cutters. The window will then drop, and yeah, you can get to those nuts, get the glass out, get the mechanism out. Anyway, when the new mechanism comes, I will show you sticking it back together probably. I've definitely got to show you the door lock, because that's going to be fun, I think, to get in there. And yeah, catch you soon.